Hey guys, it's Jason over at Kaiser Willys Auto Supply. Today we're going to be rebuilding the steering gearbox for the CJ-2A. Here you see we've already got the bearings in place on our worm gear and the shaft is in place. The first thing we're going to talk about is this upper cap. So this upper cap is held on by 3 bolts. One thing to note is that there are some shims that set the preload on the worm gear that go below this cap and on top of the housing. I'm using the original shims. Anytime that you have shims on anything, keep the original shims. It's a good placeholder. It tells you a starting point. And a lot of times you can just use those, but we do offer a pack of shims so that if you do lose the old shims, or if the old shims are damaged, you can then use that to set the preload on those bearings. Like I said, you have 3 bolts and 3 lock washers, so once you get those tight, it's not really a torque, you're just going to get them really tight. You're going to check the in and out, make sure that the bearings are seated properly, which it is, so we don't have any up and down movement. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is the sector shaft. The sector shaft is measured in diameter of the actual shaft. This is a 7/8 inch shaft, so if you need to know what sector shaft you have, just take that measurement of the diameter of the shaft itself. I've already got the bushings in place. I had to hand ream these bushings out. Once you press any sort of bushings in, then you're actually gonna have a little bit of mushrooming, so you do have to hand ream them out just a little bit to get it to fit and slide in the way it's supposed to. I have 2 caps here. One you'll see has the raw stamping, and one that does not. The one with the raw stamping actually has a bolt, which is going to be setting the tension on your sector shaft, but the one that I'm going to be using today is actually empty. There are 4 bolts on this cover. Normally there's a gasket that goes on here. I'm not installing this on the vehicle right now, so I'm going to leave the gasket out just so that I can show you how to install. Go ahead and peg one of the bolts into the cover. Go ahead and put the other one opposite side of that in. Then you have the other 2 lined up and you can run the other bolts in. I'm not going to be putting the pitman arm onto this shaft right away. Like I said, I'm not installing this on the vehicle today, but I am going to go ahead and put the lock washer and the nut, which we do sell here at Kaiser Willys Auto Supply, just to protect the threads a little bit in case of rust or anything like that, any sort of damage. You just want to make sure the threads are protected. So I've got that in place. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is the horn wire tube. So there are 2 different styles of worm gears and 2 different ways to wire the horn on these vehicles. One, the horn wire goes down the length of the tube and out the bottom, and the other one is there's a contact brush and a contact bushing that you wire on the side of the column and it goes out the side. This one is going to have an empty hole on the bottom with a tube, and then you've got a little plug. You'll run your horn wire through the tube and out the bottom of the tube. This tube then slips into place down the length of the worm shaft. You'll put a little bit of silicone underneath this plug with a brass punch. You'll then spread the plug and then it'll hold it in place. Then you won't have any leaking. Now I've got our tensioner. This is a really neat device. The original tensioner is just a bolt and a nut. This one has a spring-loaded mechanism, helps you set a little bit better tension. You've got a couple different adjustments. So what you'll do is you'll go ahead and thread this into place. Once you start feeling the tension on the sector shaft, then you can lock down that nut and then everything's in place. You can adjust it with an Allen on the end, and now we've got the tension on the sector shaft. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.